arrangement as they swap me out. I mean, technically, the decks they're playing in Arena are standard legal, so it's technically standard. This hand's great. It's got Dusty, it's got Acceleration, it's got a Torpor Orb. I appreciate that you admit you're for sale. Look, if I couldn't sell myself, I couldn't be here, you know? The selling myself is part of the reason I'm able to do this like I do. Otherwise, I'd just be here, you know, the 5 to 10 hours a week I was a long time ago. Basic Mountain. I did that for a long while, extras. Just lots of random off hours. You know what's bigger than Hollowed One? Dusty's bigger than Hollow One. How bad would Mana Dorks be at Hearthstone, right? Oh, are they? Are they some kind of Dredge Hollowed One amalgamation? Just gonna end step Hushwing Gryff. I guess that's a little loose. I'm actually gonna play the Torpor Orb and path something this turn. That way they can't bolt my Hushwing Gryff in response to Dusty coming out. It's probably a Vengevine deck. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess Bloodghast doesn't make sense in a Vengevine deck though, right? If they're a Vengevine deck, they probably don't have Bloodghast. I guess they could just be like playing that in addition to other things. We did win the Humans matchup. We won both post-board games, like I said we've been doing. It's gonna be a whack. Nope. All right. Torpor Orb does turn off Prized Amalgam. I'm gonna path this actually. They only have 2 cards left and they could have played a Delve Threat this turn anyways. And like that represents a lot of damage next turn potentially. Yeah, that's fair, Serp. Just like you want more graveyard base value. Dr. Bolster Sky, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. And there's a lot of great content producers on Twitch right now, so thanks for supporting my stuff with your Twitch Prime this month. I do appreciate it. Welcome. If you click into my Stream Decker, you should be able to find a way to find all my decks if you click into my user profile on Stream Decker. Is it blue star sky? Is it blue tar sky? Blue tar sky? Blue? Blue da ba dee da ba die da ba dee da ba die da ba dee da ba die ha ha ha. Blue his house with a blue little window and a blue Corvette, and everything is blue to him and himself and everybody. Put my Frampler into play here. Do I think now is a good time to get into Standard? I think this is the one channel that's streaming Modern out of like the top 10 Magic channels, and like most of the other ones are streaming Standard, so you should ask some of them. We started with Green Black Rock this morning, so I did that first. Here's a hot take. Standard's always expensive when it doesn't suck. Standard's just sucked for a while, so we're not used to it being expensive. We've got lethal in the air. We've got lethal Framplers, flying tramplers. We never boarded the Nissan. Frample too strong. Frample too strong. Every time you sing something, it just makes us want the singing stream even more. Settle the Wreckage is quite good here. They're like almost certainly a Hollowed One deck, right? Which probably means this Qasali Pridemage is good. So we're just playing giant flyers that have drawbacks that we're turning off the drawbacks with Hushwing Gryff and Torpor Orb, basically, is the TLDR. Of course, Dusty has Flash. It wouldn't be playable without the Flash, chat. I don't do finance stuff, so I'm not going to tell you if it's worth it or not worth the price tag. I will tell you it's a very powerful card that's going to be a format staple in Modern and Legacy long term, just because it's a 4-mana colorless planeswalker that generates card advantage. TLDR is too long, didn't read. It's like basically means paraphrase this or shorthand it. I think I was gonna do this. I'm just gonna cut the Hunted and the Honor Guard, just like one of each of our combo parts, and play these Settle the Wreckages. In M&M rap, I should pull up a thing in M&M rap at some point. I need the lyrics in front of me though, because Lord knows I just make them up enough. The sellout planes. Let's just put it to you this way. I am a walking sellout, and the way I make money is more honest than people that speculate on Magic cards. I hate people that speculate on Magic cards. I think it's annoying that people price people out of the game that just want to play Magic because they want to use Magic like a stock market. I find that really frustrating. Yeah, they don't look competitive. Anticipate was a speculation that wouldn't have hurt anyone, okay? It was a 10-cent comment that I was hoping would go up long term, okay? I was very wrong, and I made a mistake, and I sold those back signed. It's great. It makes a good story. Makes a good story. If it's got Through the Breach in it, probably just a normal donation deck list is fine. I think as long as you're doing something objectively broken, I'll pretty much play your deck for the base amount. I think I'm just gonna Torpor and play another Noble. I guess a good way to articulate how I feel is that I don't mind the people that invest for long-term investments because those don't create initial price spikes, right? What I find frustrating is like those rush buyouts when someone like breaks something, and then people that actually just want to play Magic end up getting fucked and can't actually play Magic, and then the price is artificially high. Like if the price has gone up naturally over time, that's different, right? Like as a card has increased in demand as time's gone on. And maybe I shouldn't differentiate between those two things, but in my mind I differentiate between those two things. I have tweeted at Magic Online twice in the last week. Tomorrow is normally their downtime, so hopefully there's downtime tomorrow that fixes the leyline bug. Thoughts on net decking causing spikes? I feel like I hate the idea of blaming net decking for spikes because like that's an actual demand, right? Like if it's actual genuine demand where like there's lots of people wanting to build a deck, that's different than someone buying out a bunch of cards. Yeah, this new low latency thing is hot. It's great. Just increases the level of audience interaction a ton. I agree. It's not net decking anymore. It's just playing fucking Magic. Is what it comes down to. I'm gonna take this hit and just settle the wreckage next turn when they attack with more. That being said, I do also feel that, what's the best way to say it? I do also, no, I had a train of thought, and the train of thought is like derailed and rolled off the tracks, and I don't remember what I was going to say now. Apologies while my brain loads. How are Dusty and his orb trees? Go down, Nicholas Bolas. Well, we're up a game here in the first match, which is quite excellent. When people talk about net decking and like it's a bad thing, it sounds to me like those old people that talk about television being bad for you or the internet in general being bad. The internet's gonna kill local businesses and all that kind of nonsense. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So, like I said, I'm okay with natural demand, but at the same time, I think a lot of people don't recognize that Wizards of the Coast simultaneously has a lot of control over what the secondary market does, and when cards get expensive, like when Standard gets expensive, that's Wizards' fault at the core. Wizards has the ability to make speculators not be able to be profitable at speculating by printing adequate amounts of the cards and not putting every fucking playable card as a mythic. It's like when people talk about them like making event decks and stuff like that, it's like, believe it or not, it costs them the same amount of money to print a mythic as it does to print a common and uncommon. So they literally can't put too much value into certain reprints because it costs them the same. Hey, we just had a sub there. The stupendous one, the 2-month resub. Thank you very much for renewing your Twitch Prime here. I do appreciate that. Welcome back. Mythics are printed on little pieces of gold. Life SSBM, thank you for the 4-month resubscription, a third of the year. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Details on how donation deck lists work are here. If you have any questions about specifics, feel free to drop me a message in private and I'll answer you after I'm done streaming today. I'm gonna gaze longingly at this Mox Opal and ask the question we often have to ask. Why isn't Stoneforge Mystic legal? Why isn't Stoneforge Mystic legal? This is okay, but Stoneforge Mystic? No. You can't have a 4/4 on turn 3, chat. You can't have a 4/4. But this, see you on the YouTube. Thanks, Saw3, I appreciate it. So, Amazon raising the price of Prime is kind of like Netflix raising their price in my mind. It's just like, it's a service that the people that use it are used to using it and aren't going to stop using it. So they could basically double the price and I would still keep giving them money because it's worth double what I pay to me. All right, on the off chance they never draw a bridge, we can slam Dusties and start beating them down here, maybe. Correct, yep. Every card on the reserve list has been getting bought out, -3 card. Every card. We can't interact with a bridge game one. As soon as they get a bridge in play, we'll concede. Maybe. It's a lot of effort to set up what Netflix has set up. Do I have any thoughts on Lantern Control? I think Lantern Control is abysmal from a game design perspective. I think Lantern creates very uninteresting games, and it removes all ability to make decisions from one of the players in a game, which makes it shitty game design. I think good game design encourages both players to be able to make relevant decisions throughout the course of a game or a match, and Lantern removes that ability from players. Nah, I really don't care about the Eldritch Evolution. All Eldritch Evolution does is get me more of these, and I don't have a 2-drop to go get, so I don't have a bullet in my main deck that can kill Ensnaring Bridge. Like, if I had a Kataki, aggressively getting the evolution is good, but I don't have a Kataki, so good news. We have them dead in 2 if they're exceptionally unlucky. All right, and we're dead. See. To be fair, what eggs does and why Lantern is obnoxious are kind of different things. And by kind of different, I mean very different. I'm going to bring in Spellskite to protect this. Same thing with the rest of these cards. Obviously don't need Path to Exile. Need 4 cuts here. Hey, Pride Ball. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. I appreciate you supporting my content this month with that. Thank you, and welcome. I think I'm just trimming voice, right? Kataki's great. Very good. This does nothing to Inventor's Fair. Morning, Aaron. Do 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 do. Nah, not having flying's a knock against Leveler. It's also 5 mana. 5 mana is a lot more than 4. Sure, I could, but you know what's not fun and interesting Magic? Me hoping to draw 3 Noble Hierarchs in a row and then hoping they don't draw their Pyrite Spellbomb. That's not fun or interesting Magic. Hey, Aaron, 11 months till I get my 3-year shard. Thanks for playing Amulet Titan the other day as well. Yeah, Tech was sweet. That seems not amazing, but it's fine. We started with Black-Green this morning, St. Pat. It was the first thing we played. So it'll be up on YouTube later. We went 4-1. We beat 4 aggro decks, and I conceded a match to Red-Green Valakut because that matchup's unwinnable. Got a pair of orbs. Can't take my only testicle because I got 2 of them. I got 2 of them. Sahali, interesting. Orb, for those of you that are just joining us, We didn't board in Torpor Orbs. We have main deck Torpor Orbs in this deck. Torpor Orb enables Dust Elemental to not have a drawback. Torpor Orb enables Eater of Days to not have a drawback. All right, and at this point, I'm going to concede to a bridge again, I think. I guess I have Noble out already, so maybe we don't. If they don't have bridge this turn, I get a hit in for 7, which is great. Afternoon, JMP. Howdy, howdy. It's just, so when I concede, it isn't because we're 0% to win. When I concede most of the time on the stream, it's because the game isn't going to be fun or interesting, and I have no interest in continuing to play a match that's not going to be fun or interesting. Yeah, I'm just going to concede to a bridge here. Yeah, Noble is very unlikely to go the distance. They have a lot of tools to take Noble off the table. Welcome to folks coming over from the Nasif stream. We're hanging out, playing some green-white Eater of Days. Welcome to everybody that's hanging out here today. There's a lot of different things you could be doing, different people you could be watching. Thanks for spending some of your time here with us. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I stream Magic 30+ hours a week. We play a ton of Modern. We play some Legacy. I also stream some Hearthstone. We're going to close out today's stream with some Hearthstone, in fact. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel, or at the very least checking out my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. I'd love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, Mack Weldon provides premium men's clothing. Using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/HoogleClothes, you can save 20% on your first order with them. They do premium shirts, polos, underwear, shorts, all sorts of great stuff. JMP just asked with a generous cheer, do you think Faithless Looting and Strawberry Shortcake is too aggressive? And can you add this democracy to it? 10 out of 10 will do. I'll add your 100 from earlier too. I'm not sure that you really need Faithless Looting in that deck. I feel like Smuggler's Copter kind of already serves the role that Faithless Looting could serve in that deck while being an aggressive card as well. Yep, yeah, I agree, extras. Like, Strawberry Shortcake is what we've been calling the red-white painter servant toolbox deck that we've been playing a little bit of in Legacy. And for those of you that haven't heard my stance on Life EV and conceding miserable matchups, Magic is a game you should be playing to have fun. So if you're not having fun playing a match of Magic, you should probably stop playing it. Magic is a hobby that you're supposed to enjoy, and if you're not enjoying it, you need to get some perspective and kind of look at what you're doing and evaluate is this really what you want to spend your time doing? To set the bar exceedingly low, it's one of the best non-blue decks in Legacy. Fun is for filthy casuals, right, Bob? I'm gonna put my Torpor Orb creature into play here. Attack them with this. Or keep a one-lander and eventually draw a land is not working out here. Alright, sweet. Better late than never, I suppose. Yeah, the green-black deck is great. If you're interested in playing good, honest Magic, I think the green-black deck's the best way to do that. One of the best ways to do that in Modern right now. I think that's kind of narrow. I think the white adds a lot of good angle of attack. I think Aethersworn Canonist is quite excellent in a deck that has a lot of artifacts. Are you gonna Collected Company on my turn opponent? So I'm gonna give you a spoiler, chat. So this is, someone just asked the question, is Bloodbraid Elf falling off in Modern? So these numbers here, I can't zoom in apparently on Google Docs. These numbers here were the percentages of Jace, Bloodbraid, and decks that didn't play Jace or Bloodbraid in Modern in the 4 weeks following the unban. Those are the numbers. These are the numbers for the last 5 weeks of major Modern events. Look at those numbers. Look at that. The Jace number is less than a third of what it was, and the Bloodbraid Elf number is like 2/3 of what it was. Like they both fell off, and Jace fell off hard. My article on Gathering Magic this week is going to be looking at data from the past couple of weeks and talking about what's good, bad, and otherwise. I'm going to go ahead and just hold up Path to Exile here as opposed to slamming my Eater, because I think this is a Collected Company here. I think they're company or courting. If they're not company or courting, I think that's fine for us. I think Grixis Death Shadow is fine. That's actually a deck that's put up a few results. Yeah, that's going to be one of the conclusions after I get done explaining the data in my article, is that we unbanned these really powerful cards, and not only did they not break the format, but one of them has barely made a blip longer term now, so like we should probably be allowed to have more toys back. I already have Honor Guard in play, so we already have a Torpor Orb in play. Nice cards. Nice 2 power. They got 4 power worth of creatures. I got 14 power worth of creatures. That seems like a fair exchange. Seems like it was fair. I don't know if I have a Whisper. Ping me again, Willisby, if I didn't see it. I'll check my messages after I finish streaming today. I don't think Umezawa's GTA is a card. So again, if you've listened to me talk about game design philosophy on this stream before, I think even if Umezawa's GTA and Punishing Fire are cards that could be okay in Modern from a power level perspective, I think from a quality of gameplay perspective, those cards should not be Modern legal. I think from a purely quality of gameplay perspective, those cards should remain not legal. Land is perfect here because it lets me cast Eater of Days and still hold up this other path. If you're talking about green-black, you should read my article on gatheringmagic.com. I wrote about it last week. Crunch, 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 crunch. I got my Frampler. Frample too strong, chat. Frample too strong. How long will the stream last today? I'm planning to stream for another 5.5 to 6 hours. Hey, I Freaky Kiki with the brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for helping me do what I do here. So I don't have a Linvala in my sideboard. Maybe I should. I actually don't think I have any cards to board in here, right? Still the water with the brand new Twitch Prime support. I know there's a lot of great people streaming on Twitch right now, so I appreciate you choosing to support my content this month. Yeah, I think hoping to settle the Rowanist route isn't very good. I guess Settle's pretty good against their mediocre beats plan, but I kind of like all of our main deck cards here. I kind of like all my main deck cards here. No mana dorks, no second land. Welcome to Magic sometimes. Enjoy your stay. Ding, that's very good. Dork, Gryff, Eater. Do I think Splinter Twin makes for poor gameplay? No, I think Splinter Twin creates incredibly engaging gameplay that leads to decks that are built well having lots of decision points. bit.ly/Hoogle close, Mr. Tasty. HOOGL close. All lowercase. Right there, this one. That URL. All right, I have a thing in chat too. This one. I'm gonna cast my Hushwing Gryff now so the Sasquatch Recruiter doesn't flip. Is bits or donations better for you? I love the content and I gotta support. Whichever is easier for you. If you do cheer with bits though, you get the fun badges in chat, which is nice. All right, I'm just gonna throw my Frampler out here and hope for the best. Opponent could likely kill us next turn. Yeah, I agree, Zephoid. People that talk about Twin being this turn 4 combo deck, I feel like didn't play enough games with or against it. All right, so these are infinite mana, and this lets my opponent get any cards out of their deck, so they're gonna generate infinite mana and then play a Walking Ballista and kill us. That is true, Velik. Dollar for dollar, there is a higher percentage that ends up in my pocket for straight donations. But honestly, I don't mind if people... The chat badges are fun, and supporting Twitch is important. Without Twitch, I wouldn't be able to do my job. So that's why I just, you know, whatever's more convenient for you. Hey, Zephoid, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Lands, please. Ding. They'll just kill the angel with the ballista. So if we hit running lands here and their draw is bad, we will be okay. But if they just have a fast combo kill, we don't have a way to interact with that this game. Amazon Prime's going up to 120 in a calendar year. I actually think you could just ban Grape Shot and leave empty. Requiring Storm to attack with creatures to win is incredibly fair, I think. But Splinter Twin isn't legal, but this is. I like green black elves personally. I like the reach that you get from having the what's it called, elf in your deck. I'm gonna play the Hushwing Gryff so I can just auto pass here. If they have the thing, they have the thing. And again, once they put they show me that they have access to, what's it called? I'm going to concede. I'm not going to make them click through this, but I'm going to make them put Duskwatch Recruiter into play. Okay, so this is lethal. Also lethal. Oh. Getting moderned. Our deck doesn't have a ton of very efficient interaction, so when our opponent's decks are just more linear than ours, we're going to get run over by them. Usually, there's a lot of builds, Mr. Tasty, that play a Rowanus in addition to Walking Ballista, just because of random stuff like Pithing Needle and other things like that. I agree. I think a lot of the things that are banned in Modern could be unbanned, just because Modern has become a fast, brutal, and efficient place, and a lot of the things that are banned aren't fast, efficient, or brutal, and they're kind of slow and clunky. Yep. Yeah, like if Storm had to go off with Empty the Warrens, suddenly Maelstrom Pulses and Engineered Explosives are great in every sideboard against Storm, right? No, I think it's underplayed because it's impossible to play on Magic Online. The fact that you can't execute part of your combo is a big deal. What are cards that should definitely not be unbanned? Glimpse of Nature, Skull Clamp, Hypergenesis, Chrome Mox, Rite of Flame, probably Artifact Lands, just the very obviously dumb and degenerate things. Sensei's Dividing Top should stay banned for tournament longevity reasons. I actually think if they're going to continue to leave Tron lands legal, they probably should unban Cloud Post. I think Cloud Post is actually worse than Tron on average in Modern. I mean, there's lots of really easy ways to fix energy. You just don't aggressively stat all of the cards. You just, like, don't make it so your 3-2 that makes energy draws a card. No, I don't want to deal with Deathrite Shaman. Deathrite Shaman just does a little too much for a little too little. I think Magic is ripe for a new non-rotating format, and I think Arena is going to be the antithesis of that new non-rotating format. I think their inability or lack of desire to print to put Modern into Arena will cause them to create a new non-rotating format. Teamer Kiki, please. I Freaky Kiki. Thank you for the 2,000 bits. I will be happy to get Teamer Kiki back into the queue. I Freaky Kiki wants to see more Teamer Kiki. That's colored me surprised. No second land. Dusty could give it to him real quick here. I think they're careful with unbanning, so they just largely don't think about it. I think they just auto-passed their turn by mistake there. So, once upon a time, I strongly believed that Wizards should ban a bunch of stuff in Modern, and they should slow the format down and make it more interactive by banning things. I've changed my line of thought in that area. Now, I understand that Wizards of the Coast doesn't really want the format to be slower. They're happy with what it is, mainly because they don't want to slash consumer confidence by banning a bunch of things. So I'm taking a different approach with how I would like Modern to be sculpted a little bit. I'd rather just get my fun toys back rather than other people lose their toys. So instead of, like, you know, getting rid of Chrome Mox and Simian Spirit Guide, or Mox Opal and Simian Spirit Guide, can I just have Stoneforge Mystic and Birthing Pod and Splinter Twin? Can we all just have our toys? How would Evolutioning Noble put lethal in play? What would I Eldritch Evolution for? This can't turn into Eater of Days, chat. It's not about making the best deck worse, Ishina. That wasn't my line of thought. My line of thought wasn't that we need to make the best deck worse. My line of thought with how ideally, once upon a time I wanted Modern to change was I just wanted them to slow it down. It wasn't about tagging the best decks, it would be about tagging the degenerate decks. I'm gonna do this, just trim a little bit and bring in these Damping Spheres. Oh, Selfless Spirit's pretty good, right? Counters Oblivion Stone. I guess Voice gets worse if I trim these. Let's not trim all of those. They could back add a few sets to whatever new format they add. Like, I wouldn't be super surprised if they, like, back add in, like, maybe whatever new non-rotating format they have starts with, like, Origins. That's a good draw. Gilling the old wet ball here. There's a lot of really sweet cards in Origins, and like having a new set begin with the set called Magic Origins is kind of flavorful. No, Origins was after Cons. If you acidic slime Kiki a Tron player, I'll give you 10,000 bits. How does my wet ball make you feel, opponent? Does it make you feel bad on the inside? It should. It's intended to make you feel bad. You're a dirty Tron player. You're supposed to feel bad. I don't actually think Dredge is a design mistake. I think it's a neat design space that ended up being abused by other things. But I drew my sideboard card, opponent. I was supposed to win. I drew my sideboard card. You're no fun, opponent. What a big meanie. I'm hungry for some days. The only thing that can satisfy my hunger is time. Hushwing Gryff makes Eater a hungry boy. Alright, so they're going to 21 here. We're effectively hitting them for 5 every turn right now. They have 2 paths in my deck or 3. I think it might only be 2. I boarded out 2 paths. Maybe I should leave 3 in. Path to Exile. Path to Exile. It's a little... It's probably... Oh, no! Not my wet balls. My wet balls are too late, chap. My wet balls are too late. How do you feel about an Esper Planeswalker deck with Jeffrey, Chad, Jason, Liliana? Well, you probably don't want to play Jace because he's bad, but there's actually been a couple Esper control decks that have done well moderately recently. All right, I'm gonna leave these in. I'm gonna cut these. Karn's great in the Affinity Shell. Stuck with our wet balls in our hand. This hand doesn't have a Torpor Orb or a Damping Sphere. This hand doesn't have either of those either, but I'm gonna bottom that. No, that was game 2. I think Dusty and the boys are gonna meet a pretty quick end today, chat. It's not looking good for our hero. All right. That's something. We've cashed too many leagues recently. That was bound to happen. I don't know that I have good feedback for Dusty and the boys. Hey, if only we'd have had Stoneforge Mystic. It could have been really unfair and bested that card. I don't know that Let's run on high speed. May you continue trotting, nerds. All right. Angel Cord. Let's do it.